Welcome, everybody, to What's Up, Bolts. I am Fernando Ramirez. Thank you guys so much for joining the show today. Guys, big game going up this weekend on Monday, actually. Chargers Raiders, Monday, September 15th at 7 p.m. in Las Vegas. It's a big one, another divisional game for the Chargers. So I got to thinking, I'm like, all right, it's Raider week. It's a big week. I've been around the organization for about 10 years. I know the history of how big Raider Week is. I'm like, who can I bring on to talk about how big Raider Week has been in the history of the Chargers and the Raiders? Well, why not bring on somebody who knows this rivalry, who's been around this rivalry, who can mention guys from the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s, the 2020s. Let's bring on Raiders columnist Paul Gutierrez. Oh, thank you so much for jumping on with us. I knew you'd
Awesome.
love that.
Awesome. Yeah, you can never go wrong with the Karate Kid, right? And you just kind of takes you into a certain mind space, as
I
Jim
know.
Harbaugh might say. But when he does it, he's got the one crooked finger, and then Pete Carroll's got the other crooked finger. They're besties, and we all know they are. But yeah, I mean, what better day to really talk about it all, right, than on the 47th anniversary today of the Holy Roller, which is called something less than holy by Charger fans, I'm sure, that remember it or even care about it.
You see, Paul knows everything. Paul has the facts. By the way, before we get into Chargers Raiders, did you see what Charlie Sheen said last week?
Did he turn down the role? Did he
He said his
allegedly?
father
Yeah, his
told him,
father told him he had already made a
Martin
commitment.
Sheen told him, you need to turn down that role because you already said you were going to be in Budapest or
Yeah,
Bangladesh or some place for a movie role. And he's like, okay, he goes back to the Karate Kid people and he tells them, give me 2 weeks. I'll be back. I'll be ready to roll. They're like, no, sorry. And he said he kind of still has a little bit of regret of not taking that role.
as he should, because he then would have been able to play one of the more iconic roles, and if nothing else, he would have been able to meet Elizabeth Shue on the set. I'm sure they've met over the years or whatever,
Yeah.
but he probably would have. I don't know. I'm kind of torn about that because I really feel like I should have had the role because I was actually of the same age and did
We've talked
martial
about it
arts at the
before.
time and was a little guy. Charlie Sheen would have been a little bit more believable, I think, because more athletic. But I mean, that was the role, and it made LaRusso, and it
Yeah,
made Ralph Macchio. So yeah,
it
all
really
good,
did.
all
Yeah.
good.
Paul, a
Oh,
lot
oh,
has changed.
sorry,
Yeah, go
sorry,
ahead.
sorry, sorry. I got to
Yeah,
go
no, no,
here,
no.
Fernando.
I
The
love it.
other thing about it here too, though, if you think about it, in the original Karate Kid movie, and we've talked about this before as well, but we've got fans watching, whatever, always a good trivia answer for me, or trivia question is, what jersey is Daniel-san wearing when he gets jumped after the and some would say it was a rifle jump because he actually started it by
Yep.
Cobra Kai after the Halloween party when he's wearing the shower. He's wearing a Charger jersey. Which
I
player
can't
was it?
remember. I can't remember right now. I know it's not an Elworth. I think it's not a Charlie Joyner either. I think it's a Wes Chandler.
Wes Chandler. Which
Boom.
made no sense because LaRusso was from New Jersey. Why is he rocking a Wes Chandler jersey when he's living in the Valley?
I know, exactly. And I mean, I think where the Raiders were still in LA during that
The
time. So
Raiders
yeah.
were, when they filmed that movie, the Raiders were about to win Super Bowl 18. So I always thought, and William, Billy, Zabka, we follow each other on the app formerly known as Twitter. And I asked him one time if Cobra Kai was actually Raider Nation because of the color scheme of the skeleton outfits that they wore
Yeah.
for Halloween. And he never really answered me, but we'll get to the bottom of that one day.
One day we will get to the bottom of that. All right, Paul. A lot's changed in Raider Nation. Obviously, in Raider Nation, it was Antonio Pierce. Now it's Pete Carroll comes in. He brings in this young, vibrant. I know when you think of Pete Carroll, you don't think of young, but he brings this young, vibrant, obviously, demeanor to him. He keeps Patrick Graham. He brings back Chip Kelly to the NFL.
Yeah.
What have you thought so far about the changes that Pete Carroll's kind of made there in Vegas?
Well, it's a small sample size, right? I mean, we've played one game in the season, but it just, and I've written this at the time since joining the Raiders themselves as a columnist for Raiders.com and doing other multi-platform reporting on the team and for the team, is it's just felt different. And I know Raider fans are getting sick and tired of hearing that, because Antonio Pierce was bringing all the fire and the brimstone. with it. Josh McDaniels was coming and bringing the X's and the O's, and the lowrider, the 64 Lolo. But then, McDaniels had the X's and O's, and then John Gruden was bringing it. It's felt different every year, but this felt different because, as opposed to the past two head coaches, Pete Carroll has the pelts on the wall. He has the experience. He has the national championship at USC. He has the Super Bowl win with the Seahawks. He has all of those things that he could bring, and the experience, like you said, he's come Monday night. He turned 74 years old. That's his birthday. The oldest coach in NFL history, but you wouldn't know it by the energy that he has, the way that he interacts with the guys. Everything is a competition. So beyond just having that positivity that's going on, there's also something else going with the results. And if you're 1-0 to start a season, there's nothing better than that other than winning the last game of the season.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. What do they say in Spanish? Las canas no son en balde. So all the gray hairs that he has, or all the experiences that he has, I think he's won now his home opener in 4 different NFL teams or something like that. I was just amazed. Yeah. I mean, he really is one of one, and I mean, this division is just stacked with all the talent at head coach, obviously, with Sean Payton, Jim Harbaugh, and Andy Reid, and now Pete Carroll. What have you kind of noticed about Chip Kelly? I know, no pun intended, he has a chip on his shoulder. He goes to Philly. He makes all this money. The guy, LaShawn McCoy, Deshaun Jackson, Jeremy Maclin, they all kind of say, no, this guy sucks. We don't like him. They fire him. He goes to San Francisco and 1 year there and he's fired, and then he kind of goes back to college football and everything. And just what have you kind of gotten a sense from him? I mean, this kind of a redemption for him in a sense, and again, this is just my feeling. I feel like Pete is grooming him in a sense to be the future head coach of potentially of this team, just because of kind of the experience that he has and everything he's kind of done in the past. But that's just my 2 cents from everything that I see.
Yeah, don't tell that to Brendan Carroll that he's grooming Chip Kelly to be the next head coach, his own son, who is the offensive line coach for the Raiders. But I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying. Yeah, and again about Pete, he is 4-0 now in his debuts with new coaches as being a head coach in the NFL. The Jets, the Patriots, the Seahawks, the Raiders. He's won all of those openers his very first game. Oh yeah, USC also. He beat San Jose State in his first ever game with the Trojans. 5-0 as a head coach at every stop. When it comes to Chip Kelly, he's kind of in his happy place where he just kind of gets to get in the lab and just concoct all these things with the tools that are at his disposal. Having a lot of fun with Geno Smith, Ashton Genty, Brock Bowers, Brocktimus Prime, as our radio announcer Jason Horowitz has referred to him. It's just when it comes to Chip Kelly, he doesn't have to deal with being a head coach and the responsibilities that come with that in terms of the media, in terms of the visibility. This guy he just loves football. And I was in on a production meeting with him during the preseason, and it was fascinating just talking to him and just seeing all the gears and all the levers and everything moving at the same time when he's talking about football and how he can use this person and that person. It's almost like he just has a cheat sheet, and he's a cheat code in and of himself to be able to just boom, spit it out, and there you go, when that's all you have to worry about. I'm not saying that he's not head coaching material. I'm just saying that he's kind of in a happy place right now, and the Raiders could and should benefit from that.
So he's in his Happy Gilmore happy place, like a beer and a beautiful woman sitting there. So that's what it's all about. It's funny. We had Adam Hill on, and you know how Adam is. He's
Mr. Contrarian.
Exactly. So I asked him, do you think Ashton Genty is going to be good? Mm-hmm. And he goes, okay, see, this is the way we have to analyze that question. I'm like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
He goes, is he worth the 6th overall pick? No,
but
unless
that wasn't the question, Adam. That wasn't the question.
Exactly. So he goes, so then he's like, but is he going to be a great player? Yeah, he's going to be a great player, but it's just not worth a 6 over. You know how he gets all analytical and everything. Just so far, training camp wise, preseason, and then the first game was a little rough for him, but I mean, obviously Patriots were stacking the box and they were getting home pretty quickly. And then in the second half, it seemed like the play action really helped the Raiders out. Just what have you kind of seen from Ashton's progression from when he first got there to now after his first game?
Yeah, he was. I'm not going to say he was down, but I think there was a little bit of a reality check after that opener with the lack of holes. And you could be the greatest running back in the world. You could be Walter Payton, Eric Dickerson, Marcus Allen. This is a guy that Marcus Allen actually told me of Ashton the day after they drafted him. He has the balance of Barry, the power of Emmett. And if you study NFL running backs at all, you don't even have to know those last names. That's who Marcus is. Same thing with Marcus. If I say Marcus, you know who Marcus is. I say ED, you're talking about Eric Dickerson. So he has those attributes, but it doesn't matter if there's nobody there to open up holes for you and they're stacking the box. That to me was one of the more, if not the most impressive thing about that game was despite the relative lack of a running attack, and this again was the worst rushing attack in the NFL last year, Geno Smith was still able to find open guys down the field. So when it comes to Ashton Jeanty, you've seen pieces of it. Like in the preseason, he absolutely truck sticks somebody from the 49ers in the game. And you see the power. He's as Chip Kelly said, he's short, but he's not small. And if it takes a second to kind of let that rattle around in your brain a little bit, he doesn't have necessarily breakaway speed, but he's quick enough. So that's what I'm really eager to see happen is for Chip Kelly to draw some things up to get him out in space, whether that's on the pitch, whether that's throwing him the ball, just to get him going. Because, you and I, I'm sure we're of the same school. Games are won and lost in the trenches. And if your offensive line cannot open up holes for you, if it cannot protect the quarterback, it doesn't matter who's back there. You got Johnny Unitas, Joe Montana, Tom Brady. It doesn't matter. You need to have that offensive line open some things up for you.
Did you know Tom Brady wasn't a generational quarterback?
Who said that? Adam?
No, Ryan Clark on ESPN.
No comments. No comments.
Yeah, exactly. So obviously, with Geno Smith, I mean, we had him out here in LA for 2 seasons. I remember he spoke about when he went to the Seahawks that he learned a lot from Phillip and backing up Phillip Rivers, and he's been, I mean, I know that there's a knock on him, but I thought he's been very serviceable for the Seattle Seahawks. I thought he had a really good season for them 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. And then so far, the first game against the Patriots, he did have that interception, but that was a ball that was popped up and everything. But he threw for a lot of yards. He was finding guys open. I actually thought he was able to move the ball up and down the field. Obviously scored only 20 points, but I feel like that's what he does. He's able to move the ball. He's a guy that a team can trust. And I kind of feel like that's what Geno Smith has kind of turned himself into these last few years.
Yeah, and when it comes to Geno, I mean, he's on the other side of 30, right? But he's got a lot of tread left on the tires. Actually, today we shot and recorded a new podcast. I'm hosting for the Raiders at Raiders.com upon further review, and we had Greg Olson come in, the quarterbacks coach, and we talked exactly about Geno and how the things about him. I mean, the guy's been in the league since 2013, but he's had to sit, after being thrust into the starting lineup early in his career. He sat and learned and watched and listened, and he's a very intuitive, very, very bright guy off the football field. This is a guy that had an opportunity to go to like art school and go be like a painter at Juilliard. He thinks so much differently, and as an artist, that's what he's literally trying to do on the field is paint a picture and go forward. To me, the most impressive thing that he did, and the question that I wanted answered in that opener was, how was he going to react if and when, because inevitably it's going to come when bad things happen. And that bad thing was not just the interception, because he was dealing. I mean, he was cooking early. They go down, they score a touchdown in less than 3 minutes on the opening drive. Then they're driving again on their second drive. And then he was just threading the needle so much that he kind of went one time too many to the well. Ball bounces up, interception. Okay, how's he going to react? 3 straight 3 and outs. Then they make their adjustments. Then you see he's just, I've seen this. I've done this. Boom, let's go. And they made adjustments and they continue to go forward. So from his perspective, he said, I know who I am. I know what I can do. From Pete's perspective, the coach, he said, look, this wasn't any kind of statement game for him. That's just Geno. That's just his game. So you're like, okay, well, we'll see how that goes forward.
Yeah, no, and I mean, Paul, obviously, you and I are obviously we've been around both of our respective teams for a while, and it kind of feels, I don't know if this is the same for you, but and I mean, obviously I have respect for Anthony Lynn, Brandon Thaley, Mike McCoy, as I'm sure you do of Antonio Pierce and Josh McDaniels and these guys, but it kind of feels like when these two coaches come in, there's an adult in the room. It
Yeah,
it does. That's why when people say, like, when we say it feels different, like
yeah,
it's not just us saying it. Like, I asked Keenan Allen last week, and he's like, "Look, I've been gone for a year. It feels completely different, and it's not just the new building we're in. It feels like it's just different being here." And you kind of notice, and I feel like that's why, like you mentioned right now, the second half adjustments that the Raiders made in the past, maybe they wouldn't have made those. I know there's been plenty of times where the Chargers don't adjust in the second half, and they would get beaten at times because of those adjustments. And now you see that the Chargers, they played a good first half. Then they come out in the second half, they make adjustments, and they play even better in the second half. So I definitely think, and Space Beast just said an adult who makes an adult will make halftime adjustments. So
yeah.
I completely agree with that. Is that kind of the feeling that you're getting as well over there?
Oh, no doubt. And I actually, besides doing the podcast today, I was on JT the Breaks radio show, longtime Raider radio host, and we talked about it. It's like for the first time in forever, it felt like they made, not only did they make an adjustment, but it actually worked. And so
Yeah, yeah.
that was kind of fun to watch. It's like, oh, okay, that's what this is about. Now, a lifetime ago, I covered Pete Carroll at USC when I was at the LA Times. So I remember just that happy-go-lucky Uncle Pete vibe that he put on, and they're winning. Well, that's a lot easier to do when you've got Carson Palmer, Matt Leinart, Reggie Bush, Frosty Rucker. All these future pros are coming through your program, and you're on that level. He's a little bit more businesslike now. He's still competing. He's still got all these guys having fun, and it's interesting throughout all of training camp. To a man, the veterans on this team said they were having the most fun playing football that they've ever had in their life. And it's like, okay, well, how much fun is that going to be when the games get going? When you're winning, it gets even more fun.
Let me ask you, and Jorge had this question earlier. Besides the weapons of Myers, Genty, and Bowers, who else did? I mean, I'm even going to throw Jacoby Myers in there. But can you talk a little bit about Dante Thornton Jr.
Yeah.
and Jack Beach? I know they both had a cat. I mean, they had multiple catches on Sunday. But just what have you kind of seen from them progressing?
So Dante Thornton is basically, he's big, he's fast. He and Gino are still working on getting their timing down because he's not simply just a vertical threat. I forget the receiver for the Seahawks, whose name is escaping me right now.
DK
Big,
Metcalf. Oh, Jackson Smith and Jigba.
no, DK Metcalf.
DK
He's like
Metcalf.
DK Metcalf light 2.0, somewhere in between there. He's that kind of a receiver, at least that kind of a threat. I'm not saying he's DK, but that's kind of the vision. And when you see a Pete Carroll draft somebody like that, you're going, and that's the thing, is
Yeah.
that you see these types of players. You see how the secondary is built. I'm not saying it's a Legion of Boom, but I'm saying I see a blueprint. I see traces of things all over the place. So when it comes to Thornton, he's a guy that the Raiders owner, Mark Davis, told me he was the most intrigued by because he's the height, the weight, the speed. He's all of those attributes that Al Davis used to love to draft. And the fact that he had, it's 3rd and 20, and he catches a 36-yard bomb on just an unbelievable pass down the right sideline to essentially clinch the game. That right there was the chef's kiss for everybody involved because that's what he's about. Jack Besh, on the other hand, he is just this big, physical, talented receiver that really probably fits more in the slot right now. And it's funny because when you think of slot receivers, they're usually little speedy guys,
Yeah.
right, that are running around and underneath. This guy's a big target. And with Amari Cooper's surprising retirement last week, they got to ramp him up a little quicker as well. And that's fine by him because as long as they buy in, as long as they produce, as long as they have the good attitude and work and compete, as John Spytek, the general manager, said, there's always going to be room for those guys on this team. And as Pete Carroll has always said, he has no problem playing rookies. So as long as they fit this program.
Really quick, Space Beast has a question. Why has Besh been under wraps? It's really because he's stuck behind Jacoby.
Partly. Partly. Jacoby, that's another interesting story is because, you come to the training camp, he wants a new contract. He's entering a contract year, coming off his career best season, his first ever 1,000-yard receiving season last year, a handful of touchdown catches. And then right at the end of camp, his agent lets it be known that he wants to be traded. So we talked to Jacoby in the locker room early last week and asked him point blank, hey, what's up with these reports of you wanting a trade? He goes, yeah, I asked. They said no. We go on. I want to be here for my teammates. So obviously he still wants to get paid and he still probably deserves something, but he's just really still, as far as this roster is concerned, he's wide receiver one. So you just take that and you go from there. With Besh, he's raw. He's a rookie. And if you've got Jacoby on one side and Thornton starting on the other, with Trey Tucker in the mix there somewhat, Brock Bowers only in his second year, Michael Mayer only in his third year, it's a very, very young core that if you throw Besh in there for very major reps, that just makes that core even younger. Having said that, as I said earlier, Pete Carroll has no problem playing rookies, but I think he might have a little problem if there's nothing but rookies, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I completely understand that. Bowers going to play on Monday?
So there was no availability today.
Okay.
I talked to Brock after the game, and he said he was fine. No noticeable limp. I talked to him. I asked him, so what exactly happened? Did you tweak it on running a route? He said, I don't even know what happened. He said he just felt it. He didn't know if it happened on a tackle. He didn't know if it was on his long run. He said they just took him out of caution. And the fact that the Raiders have that extra day before playing again on Monday night, he was happy with that. So tomorrow when they get on the field for practice, we'll see exactly what his status is. Pete had no update on Monday. And why would he? Why would you want to give that to anybody at this point in time?
Yeah.
But yeah, he looked fine. But you could just feel Raider Nation's heart go when he came out of the game and went in the blue tent.
Well, because you have all these doctors on X saying, that might be a 4 to 6 week injury and this and that, and that's who fires up fans and gets fans pissed off because they feel like the sky's falling. Last one for me, just there's guys on this defense that a lot of people aren't going to know. Just can you go a little bit? Obviously Jeremy Chin people know. Maxx Crosby, Malcolm Kuntz, but it seems like Devin White is a guy that's forgotten. He won that Super Bowl with Tampa Bay, and he was probably one of the best linebackers on the field in around that Super Bowl. He's kind of had a little bit of a falling off, but can you just speak about this defense? And we all know that no matter what it is, Jim Harbaugh, Pete Carroll, these guys are going to have good defenses with fast, aggressive players. Just what have you kind of seen from this Raiders defense with unknown names? Because a lot of people, they were calling people out on Sunday, and I was like, who? I was like, okay. So and that's gonna happen.
Yeah. Well, it's because basically this is that they basically rebuilt the entirety of the Raider defense, except for those big names. Jeremy Chin is new. Maxx Crosby obviously is there. But I'm glad you mentioned Devin White because he may be the oldest looking 27-year-old in the NFL. And because he's been around, it seems like forever. And yet the guy is just the consummate professional on the field when he's right. And he was right. He led the team in tackles against them. And he was stuffing the run and he was going to the right spots. And he had to step up because of Landon Roberts, who's the Mike linebacker and wears the green dot and the communicator for the entirety of the defense. He went out early with a left shoulder issue or left elbow issue, excuse me. So Devin White then had to slide into the mic when there was other players, young players that had to come in as well to help out. So it's kind of I'm not going to say it's a no-name defense like the early 70s Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
But Jamal Adams again has just been a force because we all know him as a safety for Pete Carroll and for the Jets and everybody else. They've moved him to linebacker, and he's just flying around, and he's just being a spy back there and rushing the passer. And he's a lot bigger than he used to be. Obviously, to play linebacker, you got to be bigger than a safety. But Jeremy Chin, the same thing, huge safety, and they can bring him down in the box as well. So the defense is very multiple. And you mentioned earlier that Pete Carroll kept Patrick Graham. He also kept the defensive line coach, Rob Leonard. And that's something that our people here in research at the Raiders figured out was when Pete took over the Seahawks, he cleaned the slate of the defensive coaches, except for two. He kept the defensive coordinator. He kept the defensive line coach. Same exact thing he did with the Raiders. So there's a theme here, and yet
Yeah.
it's still his vision, right? Especially as a secondary guy. So it's a real intriguing defense because, like we talked earlier about the Raider offense making adjustments, the defense did the exact same thing.
Last final for me, Paul. Again, I appreciate you jumping
Yeah.
on. David has a question. What are we thinking about Genti efficiency for this game?
If again, it all kind of depends upon what the offensive line can do. If they can. There's always that saying, right? Is that quarterbacks are going to take what defenses give them, but then that goes exactly opposite to what Al Davis was always preaching on. Take what I want. So when it comes to Genti and the efficiency, they got to get the run game going because I think the Chargers have too good of a pass rush to become one-dimensional. I'm not saying they were one-dimensional, but like I said at the beginning, it was interesting to me that they were able to continue to pass when they couldn't run. So now with the Chargers pass rush, with Khalil Mack still knowing just enough people in this building to want to prove another point, they're going to have to open some things up the middle and get the play action game going, which is really where Chip Kelly wants to make his money.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I won't ask you for your prediction. I mean, I'm sure you're going to release that later in the week, so I don't want to.
It's too early in the week, man. The Raiders haven't even practiced yet.
Exactly.
It's going to be fun. How about that?
Angel has a quick question. Can the Raiders stop the pass?
If the pass rush gets there, and that's what we saw in the second half in New England, was for a while there was no pass rush whatsoever. So the secondary is already young. It became even more vulnerable when Drake May was able to just kind of pick them apart. All of a sudden, boom, boom, the pass rushers coming. They got 4 sacks. And what was very promising for the Raiders was that all 3 of their edge rushers got a sack. Maxx Crosby, Tyree Wilson, who's another kind of an X factor, and Malcolm Kuntz, as well as a defensive tackle, Jonah Laulu. So if they can get pressure on him, again, Drake May is totally different from the Chargers quarterback. So that's the only way they can really do it, because otherwise he's just going to be sitting back there just carving them up all day long.
Did you hear what Jim Harbaugh had to say today about Pete Carroll?
I did. I'm actually writing a column on it for later in the week. And we would have been friends if we would have been together. It was funny because he was saying he had all this respect for him, but then on the flip side, he was giving you the impression that they're not really friends. And obviously he's not on his Christmas card list either. Well, what better time then? Because Monday is Pete's birthday. He'll be 74.
I love that. I'm fine with that. I mean, you guys don't like each other. That's great. Make it an even more interesting rivalry. Last question for you. You flew on the team plane, I'm guessing, when you went to what's the biggest difference doing that than flying solo? I mean, and you don't have to answer if you don't want. I'm just my curiosity.
It was super cool because the biggest difference, you get fed, but also you go through TSA earlier, and you just basically go straight up to the plane, like
VIP.
That's no surprise. There's the VIP treatment. You go right to the plane and you go. So that's always fun, and no state secrets being released here, but that's different. And there's a part of me that's like, man, I got my silver status on this airline, and I got A status on Southwest, and now this is a little bit better. I'll take this.
Yeah, no, I bet I would take that as well. Folks, that is Paul Gutierrez. Make sure you guys follow him on X at Paul Gutierrez. Thank you so much. Oh, Paul H. Gutierrez for all your Raider information. You guys are the best. You're the best, Paul. I definitely appreciate it. Anything you want to plug for Charger fans to check out?
Yeah, just later in the week, check out at Raiders.com. I have all of my columns are up there. Everything from talking to Tom Brady this offseason to Mark Davis to did a big story on Pete Carroll, actually. And I talked to some old USC guys that played for him at SC and became Raiders later in their life. Carson Palmer, Frosty Rucker, Bryce Butler, others.
All former Raiders.
Get it. All former, yeah. Well, that was the angle. They played for him at SC, but then became Raiders later. So what's Pete stepping into? So it's all there on Raiders.com. And then we have a podcast now that I'm hosting called Upon Further Review that you can find everywhere. So it's been a good transition for me, having a lot of fun here, and it's been different. But yeah, looking forward to Monday night. And here's my final note about the Harbaugh-Carroll thing. They are tied. They've met each other in college and in the NFC West, obviously. They are 6-6 against each other.
Oof, that's going to be fun. Yeah. Are you going to Canelo Crawford or no?
I am.
I will see you there.
Awesome. It's a big deal for the Raiders. It's at Allegiant Stadium. Absolutely.
I won't stay for the game. I have to come back home. But
no.
yeah, but I'll see you there Friday and Saturday for sure. Who you got?
I got to go with Canelo. Got to go with Canelo. I mean, just Crawford jumping up 2 weight classes. I mean, that's a lot. But then again, we saw what Manny Pacquiao did to Oscar back in the day. So there you go.
Don't remind Oscar of that. He doesn't like that. But that is Paul Gutierrez. Let's close him out with this one. Thank you, Paul. That was our good friend Paul Gutierrez. We definitely love having him on. He is the best. Folks, we are going to talk some Chargers football now. Let us get into some of the keys for the Chargers. Let us get into some of the stuff that the Chargers are going to have to go through, some of the X factors, some of the battles you're going to have to watch in this game. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, he is here. You guys have been waiting for him. He told me, I'll let me give Paul his time. I was like, all right, that's a very generous human being right there. He told me, don't listen to everything Gilberto says about me. I'm a very good guy. I'm a very nice guy. I tell him, I know this. So let's get him in here now. Let us bring in Dan Daygo.
How we doing? 100%. I'm a great guy. What are we even talking about? I'm the best guy out here.
Well,
how are you
Gilberto
doing?
says a lot of things.
No one listens to him. No one listens to him. Do we have to play the Becky Lynch clip? Oh no, Nikki Bella clip again about what we think about SI? We don't need to hear it. We don't care. So Gilberto's full of it anyway. He hates him. He's hating, drinking his haterade on some Dan and Daygo. Exactly. There's my guy Joe.
It's funny because obviously we just had Paul on and Paul was telling us that there's a lot of unknowns with the Raiders. On Sunday, they kind of struggled to get the ball moving on the ground with Ashton Genty. There was some struggle there, the offensive line, and Paul was saying once he gets going, once the guy and the team get going, they're going to be moving well. Obviously, it sounds like offensive line is his biggest concern for the Raiders this weekend. He's like, with that Chargers pass rush. We saw the way they were kind of moving the Raiders pass rush or the Chiefs offensive line at times. Dan, is that kind of the area that you're kind of looking at? Is it going to be the Chargers pass rush versus the Raiders offensive line? Because I mean, we all know if you can get guys to disrupt, they're going to be able to do what they need to do. So is that kind of an area that you're looking at?
100%, because again, like the biggest thing you can't do is let Geno sit back there and get set up, right? Like the Raiders,
like
they
did on Sunday.
Exactly. Like they have a couple pieces, right? Jacoby Myers, not too bad. Brock Bowers, I know he's a little bit dinged up. I don't know if he's available or not, but
so Paul told us that Brock obviously told him, yeah, I don't even know what happened. I felt tightness. They sat me out the rest of the game, but he said the Chargers practiced today. The Raiders haven't practiced. So he said they should know closer to the game if Brock is going to go or not.
Well, and then you have Michael Mayer, who made a couple catches, right? Big body.
Very underrated.
They have a couple weapons. What?
Michael Mayer is very underrated.
Yeah. So they have a couple weapons, right? So the biggest thing is going to be, in my opinion, can you disrupt Geno? Can you make sure they're covered up, and can you have no lapses in coverage, right? Because again, I think if you get after Geno and you lock things up and make him throw into tight windows, he's going to turn the ball over. You know what I mean? Like, that's just my opinion. Obviously, do not let Genty get going, but usually run defense has been like one of their top strengths. So again, like I think I just don't see them scoring many points this or on Monday or whatever. So 100%, as long as they do not let them get into rhythm, they will win this game 100%. Because the other thing is too, right? If you can get up on them pretty quick and keep them down, you're going to be able to run away with it, I think, because this team, especially this offense for the Raiders, is not an offense that can really, come back and score 20 points to come back or whatever else, right? Like, I think game on Sunday against the Patriots was pretty low scoring. So
the thing I'm going to be looking at is I'm looking at the battle between Maxx Crosby and Trey Pipkins. I truthfully don't think that Max is going to line up on the other side. I think he's going to try and
we've already
take
established
advantage.
that.
I think he's going to take advantage of try and take advantage of Trey. I will be honest. I thought Trey had a good game on Friday. I thought Karlafka's got him for one, but I thought he did pretty well on that one. I mean, to be completely honest, on the one where Herbert gets around and is able to take off running and slides, he's lucky that Herbert was able to bounce it outside because he was beaten. Chris Jones had gotten him.
Yeah.
So, and I think Trey even expected him to go outside. I'm sure when he went inside, he's like, "Oh shoot, okay, all right, let me shove him out of the way and let me get him going." Is that kind of the battle that you're looking at, Dan, as the most crucial one? Trey Pipkins needs to keep Maxx Crosby down, and I'm sure the Chargers are going to throw help his way with Will Dissly and Jack Conklin.
The biggest thing, right? You know, the biggest recipe for success, I think, that has happened in the Herbert era is when the defense allows 20 points or less, he usually always wins. And obviously, when they protect him and keep him upright, 100% he's going to be able to sling from the backfield, right? So 100%, you cannot let Maxx Crosby try and game wreck this. You have to be smart, i.e., for example, using running backs going out for routes, what's it called? Chipping them, tight ends chipping them. Like, seriously, if I was Greg Roman or whoever, every single play he's getting hit by two different people, two different directions, right? Just to slow him down. Obviously, I don't think inside, from my memory, I don't think there's anyone that stands out like crazy or anything like that.
Well, because Christian Wilkins is now gone.
Well, yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, so again, the biggest thing that needs to happen also is make sure Zion and Bozeman are good against movement inside, because that's a few times where they got into trouble last year. They just couldn't really handle the movement, didn't really move well. So that's going to be a big thing to watch also. But 100%, right? The most talked about thing is going to be Maxx Crosby on the edge, right? Because, they're not going to move him inside against Mackay. Maybe they'd move him against – well, no, I don't think they ever move him inside, actually. So there's no worry about that. But 100%, if Trey just needs to keep doing what he's doing, be patient, let him make the first move, and just be smart out there on the island. Don't create a short edge and let him get after Herbert. And then obviously, Justin, obviously a good run game always slows down those pass rushers too. So
Justin spoke about the offense and what he thought about them last week and obviously this week.
Yeah, it was awesome. Those guys, especially on third down, they came in clutch. And, there was 5 or 6 of them where, we were behind the chains, and, Q had a couple of them where it was just big plays, and the route he ran to get separation like that. And then, you got to tie in the protection as well, which I thought the offensive line did an incredible job giving me time to get the ball off. And then to have Q, Ladd, Keenan, those guys make plays on third down, it's only going to help our offense.
I think that's Justin just thanking the Chargers for getting him the weaponry. Yeah, exactly.
100%. Well, that's the biggest problem. I would be willing to bet if someone did the stats of last year, they probably had one of the worst separation grades or anything else.
Well, even Q, they said I saw a stat that Q this first week, he had crazy separation, that he was just outrunning. He looks, I think, again, I was asking somebody about this, and they told me Q's first few steps, like his step when he breaks out of his route, is completely different than what it was last year. So you could just tell that he's going to take advantage of that. Real quick, I wanted to show you this video. I think here it is. Watch this.
Chargers a lead in the fourth quarter, 5 of these losses. Now he's got it on his hands. Pick up a couple first downs, force them to use their timeouts, and get out of here with a win.
And they're throwing, and it's a wide open Will Dissly. And that's the way the drive starts. There's a first. And the Chiefs fire off one of their.
I love that. Look at them. Bunch of bitches.
Hampton, though, takes the handoff, spins off it. You don't get a first down. You're punting this thing to Patrick Mahomes with 2 full minutes left. Herbert in the shotgun. 5 on the line of scrimmage for the Chiefs. Hampton in the backfield. They bring just 4. Herbert flushed out to the right. He's got a lane.
What a dog.
To the 40, to the 45, to the 50. He slides down.
That's what I said last week when we kind of talked about this. The way he slid there is so it's dope for a couple of reasons, right? Because you win the game and everything else. But he's playing with some swagger. That's what you want to see, you know what I mean, from your starting players. Play with some swagger, some fun, right? Remember, it's football, winning's fun and everything else, but you can't turn it into a day job or else you're not going to perform as well. You know what I mean? So seeing how much swagger he had right there, I absolutely love it. I'm all for it. I can't wait to see that again on Monday.
Yeah, no, it'll definitely be interesting to see what they're able to do. Mark Madlock says Tyree Wilson is going to be a problem. Adam Hill, this is one of Adam Hill's guys. I remember before the draft. The night before the draft, Adam Hill jumps on a national radio show and they tell him who should the Raiders not draft or who's going to be the biggest bust of this draft. And he goes, Tyree Wilson. And then Tyree Wilson comes out and Tyree Wilson gets drafted by the Raiders. And my guy Adam Hill goes, damn it. So it was
what a great start.
When Adam tells that story, it's like one of the funniest stories out there. Yeah. I love it. Hello, Sergio. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching the show. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest. Dan loves guests, don't you, Dan?
Yes.
Let us bring in our compa, Joe Morley.
Oh, wow. Wow. Go. No wonder I saw that comment and I was surprised you weren't on here.
I was waiting. But sometimes Fernando likes to keep me till the very end.
Because you're a heavy
He doesn't like to share the stage with a good-looking guy like this.
That's the biggest problem right there. You know what I'm saying?
Joe, how have you been?
I've been very good. Undefeated Raiders, you know what I mean? So can't go wrong there. Can't go wrong when you're undefeated.
Exactly.
One of your buddies jumped in here.
I was gonna say, sit up, Dan, when you're talking to me. What are you doing down there?
Try not to show the logo of the school I coach at. That's what I'm trying to do.
Hey, Joe, just you mentioned it and you said it to Paul earlier. Are the ticket prices really that gnarly this year for Allegiant?
They're every year. They're the most expensive. So far they've been dropping. I think they dropped down on Ticketmaster to over 200 still. So they're not under 100 yet, but they're getting there.
Is that for nosebleeds or?
Yeah, that's nosebleed.
That's kind of wild. That's kind of wild.
So but, that's the one good thing about not having fans and playing in SoFi Stadium is you get cheap tickets. You can get in the game, right?
Maybe if this was a few years ago, have you not seen the crowds with Jimbo?
Oh, I've seen them. They're all opposing fans still.
Sure. Well, at that rate,
you're saying a bunch of bandwagons is what you're saying.
So it doesn't matter to me, right? Either way, I don't care. I just want them to win. So I'll be prepared for when we go on the road. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not worried about that at all. I'm not worried about crowd or any of that stuff. I don't care because at the end of the day, they got to play the game and win. So,
hey, Dano. So I was listening to you right now, and you said you don't have to worry about Maxx Crosby moving inside. Apparently, you didn't watch the game last week. Max is moving everywhere on the line. They got Tyree moving inside. And you guys say we don't have a defensive tackle. Did you not watch Thomas Booker last week? The guy they got from the Eagles? Come on.
Buddy, that's a guy who thought he was big dicked and was going to go against Slater as a rookie and wanted no part of it after the first drive. That guy got paid.
Is Slater playing this week?
That guy got paid because he beat up on Storm Norton. Where the hell's that guy now, big dog?
I saw your boy Khalil Mack running out of gas last week.
Good coaching decisions. How did that go? Not very well, huh?
Hey, Khalil Mack looked like me chasing Patrick Mahomes last week, just a little bit short.
Hold on. I need to show something.
Big dog, I'm real worried about Geno Smith putting up numbers. I know. I'm worried.
Well, it should be both teams have good run defenses. Like if that's one thing that Pete Carroll is pushing this year, and you could tell like in the first preseason game was horrible, but after that and then into this one, like even this game against the Patriots, like that linebacking crew, the veterans that they have there, and that defensive line is all about stopping the run. So if you want to, it's going to be another passing game, and the number 2 and number 3 passers going from week 1 going in.
Yeah, and the other part is, like, don't get me wrong, like, I know we're just bullshitting, but, like, especially Pete Carroll teams are always physical. No matter how bad they were in Seattle record-wise or whatever, they were always physical. So that's going to be, like, the interesting matchup. And, again, like, I think, I don't know. Maybe you guys have a little bit better weapons and talent, but you guys are kind of where we were a year ago. You know what I mean? Legendary head coach, usually comes in and runs a pretty good program. You guys are just going to, it's your first year with them, so it's going to be interesting to see what shakes out, if it's as good as Jimbo or how that works. I think you guys have at least a little bit better weapons. Obviously, a worse quarter. Oh, here we go.
What is going on in Las Vegas? Amari Cooper, who just signed like last week, has now informed the Raiders that he no longer wants to play, that he wants to retire. This is what I'm talking about. They said that John Spytek really didn't want to sign Amari Cooper, that Pete Carroll had to talk him into it. And this right here, Amari Cooper came in here taking a young guy's spot, somebody that we could have had on the roster getting ready for game day, and now Amari Cooper is like, deuces. And everybody, all of Raider Nation rejoiced because they thought they were bringing back the greatest receiver that since, I don't know, Jerry Rice. But holy crap. Can we just have a drama-free week 1? Like 1 week, 1 year. Can the Raiders have something that doesn't involve this kind of drama? Amari Cooper, what the fuck? Like, you set out all season and you didn't think, like, you didn't want to play anymore?
That's how I felt with Mike, dude. That's how I felt with Mike, low-key.
That's 2 years in a row that the Raiders have had a wide receiver come in and retire on them.
Oh, yeah.
Who was it last year?
Michael Gallup.
Oh, it was Michael Gallup? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what about?
I don't even remember that. Where was I?
Huh?
What about what's his name? He retired 3 years ago.
Who, Hunter Renfrow?
Yeah.
Oh, he's back though.
No,
he's back.
He
He's
got
back.
cut.
He had retired.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't think he ever officially retired. He just he was just tired of the game and but then I think he wanted to come back. But
no, I think he got cut.
By the way, Dan, do you notice what's over his right shoulder?
What, bedtime? What does it say? Bedwetter?
No, it says best father ever, but it says farter.
That's hilarious. That's
my daughter put that up there on Father's Day, so I just left it.
I love it. Best farter ever. That's probably true. I heard what you did at WrestleMania at Allegiant Stadium. You just emptied the stadium out.
For what?
After that Cody John Cena match, how terrible it was. You probably let one loose and you emptied the stadium.
That was bad.
Dude. John Cena. Yeah, I'm ready for him to leave already.
Whoa!
Dude, like, have they not wasted his retirement tour?
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's made like no sense, like what they're doing.
Daygo, it's fine. He's gonna. It's all gonna come together.
No one cares. Get his ass out of here.
Did you see that they're going to Saudi
and
Arabia?
TKO is all about this right now, so it's like
they don't care.
Oh, they're going.
Come on, WrestlePalooza. What the hell is that?
WrestleMania, not next year because it's in Vegas. The year after, it's in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I'll be there.
That would be sick, low key. That would be sick.
No, you're not.
That would be sick if you could make it out.
Joe, honest. Well, you know what? Hold on. I do have another video. I do have another video of Joe.
Fernando gets way too excited, huh? Like
it's always hilarious because Gilberto's always trying to like leave at some point, and he's like, "Oh, just 4 more videos, no worries." And Gilberto has a stroke, dude. So it's really funny.
I just like it because sometimes, like out of the blue, Fernando will text me something, and it's like just straight talking trash, and I'm like, "All right, you want to start the day like that? Here we go."
It's not talking trash. It's good shit. What are we talking about?
Dude, how are you feeling about your Niner content? Is it about to pick up with Brock Purdy supposedly not playing this week and playing the Saints?
Hey, I was gonna make a video, but after all the stuff that happened today, I was like, I better stop and not do it. But I was gonna be like, yeah, I feel bad. Like if you see a Niner fan, give him a hug because not only did they lose Jake Moody, they lost Purdy. Now Kittle's out, and they have to play what 4 games in the next 23 games with Mac Jones as their quarterback.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, that's hilarious.
By the way, Dan, did you know Joe Morley took off his "Make the Raiders Great Again" and he put on a Charger hat last Friday? I have a video of it. He got very excited. Dan, watch this and tell me he wasn't excited.
What I'm talking about. Everybody tuned in tonight to watch the downfall of the Kansas City Chiefs, to watch the Chiefs finally get their butts kicked. It doesn't matter if it was an AFC West opponent in the Los Angeles Chargers that beat them, because nobody really takes the Chargers serious. The Chargers wins in the season, but we all know exactly what's going to happen at the end of the season. But to watch the Kansas City Chiefs and how bad they looked, especially in the first half, just come out sluggish and not look like the dominant Kansas City Chiefs of the past couple of years.
Thank God.
Amazing. We finally, more than likely, have seen the end of the Kansas City dynasty.
Big time. Big time. You know what they say, Frown? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. So here's to you.
Yeah,
I'll shake your hand.
and we can only talk bad about Kansas City until the Dolphins blow up again, and then they send Tyreek Hill back over there, right?
Oh, my
Well,
God.
supposedly there's a lot of bad blood.
So I don't doubt that. So my hot take is McDaniel's going to
bad
be the
blood?
head coach fired.
Supposedly there's bad blood over there, but by the way,
I get the reference. Taylor Swift, Bad Blood.
Okay, I didn't go that route.
I
But
didn't
Gronk
know- I
was
didn't
on
even know
a
what
Kay
that
Adams
is.
show, and he had some crazy stuff to say about the Chiefs.
I was surprised about is when things aren't going their way, as you can see, when they start struggling a little bit, they start yelling at each other. Their blame game starts going on.
Yeah,
You can
what
see
is
it on the
that?
sidelines. And
They're
that's
soft.
a situation. I mean, you want to come together when you're down, when things aren't going your way. You want to come together to figure out why, everything's not going the way it needs to go. So to see them starting to point fingers is not a good sign. They got to,
Good. Implode.
Yeah, was it Chris Jones and your old boy from the Chargers?
I
going at
was
it?
pissed. Zion got blown up by him. I saw in the highlights because I had my own game. I'm like, how the hell are you going to get blown up by an undersized linebacker? Which, don't get me wrong, it's no disrespect to him. I like Drew Tranquil, but that was crazy to me. I was like, damn it.
What about Travis Kelce just getting slapped?
Oh, I just wish he would get decked, dude. I can't. That's going to – the 2 retirements I can't wait for at 3 are Mahomes, LeBron, and Mr. Swift. I can't wait for all 3 to retire.
See that Dan likes Andy Reid. Like Dan
do.
hates that Andy Reid went to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you hate Andy Reid? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think me and Andy Reid would get along. We can go and get a hamburger together.
The only thing I hate about Andy Reid is I think he allows too much of this stuff to go on, which I hate, but whatever. But
Joe,
you feel good about the game on Monday?
Are you going?
Yeah, I told you to stay out there with me.
I can't. Oh, yeah, you did. I can't.
Yeah, I'll be in Vegas Sunday because I don't want to go out there Saturday night because hotels are ridiculous.
Oh,
I'm going out there.
I'm
going out there Sunday.
I'm going to be there for the fight.
I'm going to win the poker tournament because I'm going to be in a poker tournament with some of the Raider alumni on Sunday.
Okay.
I'm going to go to the Wizard of Oz at the Spear. So if you guys go check that out.
Oh, I saw the video. It looks so sick. You're going to have to tell me how it goes, dude.
Yeah, it look TikTok. That's the one good thing TikTok does, right? It's like shows you stuff and then you're like,
yeah,
I want to do this.
Joe is just letting them bend him over and take him for all his money. I heard those are $200 tickets.
Yeah, but it's at the Sphere. You're like engulfed by it.
Is it $200, Joe?
I had a Micah Parsons video go viral that paid me pretty good, so I'll just use that.
Oh, I wonder what he said about Micah.
Dude, I wish movies would go to that. That'd be so sick.
Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty cool because from what I saw, is like they have the apples drop from there, and then they have like the dust in there.
Oh, sick.
But I mean, I have to do a little bit.
Let us know how it goes. We might have to have you back on just to tell us.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. And then the Raider game doesn't start till what, 7:00 on Monday?
That's why I thought it was like the game's over at probably 10:15. Players are going to want to get out of there as soon as the game's over. So
yeah, it blows, dude.
They're going to be quick talking to us. And I'm like, and then I wouldn't be leaving the stadium till 1 a.m. I'm like, or 1:30. It's just not, I was like, I'll just watch it from the comfort of my own home.
Exactly.
But,
yeah, Because I was like, oh, I could drive home after the game. Then I was like, oh,
No.
crap, it starts at 7. I'm like, yeah, we're not. I got to stay.
Yeah. Is what's the name going with you? Mike?
Mike is afraid of Allegiant Stadium.
Too many
He's
Raider
afraid
fans,
of
I
the
guess.
big, bad Raider nation.
My
Really?
God, I'm not afraid of any Raider. They're not the Raiders of the 90s.
This isn't, it's not like going to Oakland. Like, that's what people have to remember.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, because
Well,
it's not the battery throwers. And I remember
Yeah.
Gates would always talk about it. He's like, my first game, I just feel something hit me. And I'm like, what the hell? And I turn and I look down and it's a battery. The Raider fans were just throwing batteries at them. So,
yeah. Dude, I remember, I think it was like 05 or something like that at a Raider Charger game at Qualcomm. They hung a Charger like straw man or whatever, like, you know, what's his name? Like a scarecrow. And I remember they lit it on fire and everything, and the cops came over, and I was like, that was like my first introduction to Raider fans. And I was like, oh, damn, that's actually pretty cool. They're that into it. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, you used to have to take a gas mask when you went to go take a piss at the stadium because people would be fighting in there. They'll throw bombs.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. I would never would have gone to Oakland. No offense, but I used to always love the black hole with all the costumes. I thought that was sick.
Oh yeah. And most of those guys are still around. They're just spread out throughout the new stadium, and it's just like there's not a real true black hole anymore.
No,
and I think
like terrible.
Yeah, I think that's horrible for us. But they did. I don't know how they do this.
Prison anymore like they used to.
I don't know how they do this, but they say 86% of the fans this weekend are supposed to be Raider fans, which it should be, right? It's the home game.
Yeah.
The Chargers don't have anybody.
You could never be able to get a ticket when it was in Oakland. If you were an away fan, you could never get a ticket. It was mainly it was all Raider fans, and now because of the new system with all the new stadiums, I mean the Rams, the Chargers,
dude, they try and fill it up with these loser influencers or whoever else. Like half the times you go and you don't even see jerseys. You're like, what's going on here?
Yeah, I don't even like. I try to. That's one of the things I do. People watch, and like you see a lot of people leaving the stadium at halftime, or they're just watching for a couple plays, and they're like, it looks like they got the tickets for free wherever they were. It kind of, as a Raider fan, it pisses me off. As an NFL fan, it even pisses me off more because I love the game.
100%.
Like somebody tried to play a joke on me, and they were like, "Hey, I got 2 free tickets for you, but it's for Chargers Cowboys." I was like, "Cool, I go." And they're like, "Wait, you're a Raider fan?" I was like, "I'll go." Like, when can you go to an NFL game and have a great time? Like, I'll go to any NFL game that I get invited to.
Oh, dude, like
and Joe could do a lot of TikToks there.
When I've gone, right, even if it's the Chargers getting blown out, I stay until the final whistle's blown. Like, you paid for the ticket. Like, what are you even talking about?
I felt so bad for him because he went to the Tampa Bay game last year, and the Chargers got blown out in that game. Then that Thursday night game was like 4 days later, and it was Chargers Broncos, and he's like, I don't know what to expect. I don't know. And then the Broncos get up 21-10 or 21-3 or 21-10, something like that. And he's like, he texts me, he's like, FML, and then they come back and beat him. And he's like, all right. He's like, let's go. Like, I think they clinched playoff, or no, they clinched a playoff spot a week later in New England. But Joe, any final comments before we head out of here?
Don't be sad when you're looking up at the Raiders being 2. I don't even think the world's ready for the Raiders to be 2-0, right? I don't think you guys are ready for that.
You want to make a bet? When's the next time I'd see you? Are you going to the Super Bowl?
The what?
Are you going to the Super Bowl or no?
Dude, I got Super Bowl money. What are you talking about?
No, but
after the game, but like to the week of.
Yeah, the week of.
I ain't compas.
Oh, this guy.
I don't have the hookups like that.
All right.
Then maybe Chargers Raiders, you'll see them.
Oh,
plus, I don't know if I'm allowed in San Francisco. You know what I mean? I might get beat up there.
You're that guy. You're that
throw the green dildos at you.
You know what's funny though is when real quick, when I went to the preseason game against the Raiders and 49ers in Allegiant a couple weeks ago, I got hit up by it was like 80% Niner fans, not to lie, but a lot of the Niner fans came up to me and they're like, "Hey, I love your videos. I know you talk trash about us, but you're funny and I follow you." So that's why I still do some Niner news every once in a while, because I know that I have a lot of people that are Niner fans that follow me.
I can't wait for this weekend.
Well, dude, it was hilarious. Like, my favorite one is the one where you walk in on Niner fans and they're doing some weirdo stuff, when you got your Niner fan mail, or you
So
took
your
mail,
friend is a
you
Niner
let
fan,
mail,
and
your neighbor's a Niner fan. And you took his mail because he was out of town or whatever. Like, shit's hilarious.
Yeah,
The Cowboy fans are just as good.
That's what football season's all about, right? Like, I don't understand like why people get too pissed off. Like, have fun, joke about it, talk shit back, and that's what you're supposed to do, right? Have fun with your friends. Like, that's all it's about.
Exactly.
Like, I have a lot of people that tell me, like, I shouldn't even be talking to you guys, or I shouldn't even be talking to Mike. Like, why do you go on podcasts with Charger fans? I'm like, because they're my friends. Like, you don't have friends that are football fans? Like, that's crazy.
It's that's just where we are, like, in all aspects of life. But like, that's why we love soccer, dude. Soccer, we go to our favorite bar that at an undisclosed location, and all we do is shit house. We start chanting, we start singing, we start shit housing, and it's hilarious, dude. Slinging beers back, having a good time, you know.
All right.
Yeah, the Blue Oyster Cult is where you guys go, and I've seen it.
Shut the what? What do you say?
That's an old time reference right there. Old person.
All right, Joe. What's your score prediction for Monday?
I haven't really gone through it, but screw it. I'll make one up right now.
That's what Pete Carroll's going to say about the play. The play.
He's going to choose his gun.
23-20.
He'll throw a pick six
Raiders
on the one.
Since I'm on your show, yeah, I'll say the Raiders because I'm not going to say anything.
No, you can say whatever you want on here, Joe. You're a guest. You are a great guest. I love having you on.
Yeah,
I like what the Raiders are doing. I do, and if they could pull this off, it'd be even better of what they're rebuilding. But they have lack of depth. They have some really good questions on the interior offensive line that they need to answer. They're going up against a well-coached team. I don't know if they're ready for it, but it is Monday night. And it is the home opener. Sometimes you get a little juice going in there.
It's Pete Carroll's birthday.
Oh, yeah. So there's a lot of things that could pump you up. And I've seen the Raider team just pull wins out of their ass when they don't have it coming. Yeah. And this is one of the games that, like, this is why I think it was important for the Raiders to pull that win off last week, because they would have. It's they got the Chargers this week, the Commanders next week. Like, it's a tough opening schedule.
Yeah.
But I think the Raiders are going to be competitive with this, but I don't think they have enough to do it. So I do think they lose this game. But if they pull it off, I'm going to be annoying as hell. I already am, but
we'll have you back on if they do.
Okay, let me give you the other one real quick. The other two games in the division: Broncos, Colts. Who you got?
I'm taking the Broncos in that game.
Okay, I went Colts actually. I don't know why. I went Colts. I think Dan did too. Chiefs, Eagles. I went Eagles.
I'm going Eagles.
Kansas City 0-2. All right. Dan, prediction for this Monday night.
Like I said, I mean, all jokes aside, I really find it hard to believe that Gino could score more than 10 points. So I think it's going to be like a 24-10 or something like that. Nothing too crazy.
Damn. I will go.
It's only 2 touchdowns. It's not that crazy.
I'll say 27-17. I think
10 points, yeah.
No, sorry, 27-20. I still think Gino has some juice. I think he does better in indoor stadiums than he does outside. So I'm just interested to see what Gino or what Ashton Genty and that offensive line are going to be able to do. But all right, folks, that has been another episode of What's Up, Bolts. Dan and I have still not kind of come through what we're gonna oh my god. Dan and I still don't know yet what the game plan is for Monday night. Dan obviously has to get to bed early because of work the next day, but maybe we'll do a watch at the last like 5-10 minutes of the game and we kind of discuss what happened throughout the game and stuff like that. But it'll be something probably pretty quick. We'll let you guys know though. Again, thank you guys. I'll let you guys know on Lunas Live what we come up with. But again, thank you guys so much. You guys are the best. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you guys want to go follow the funny ass content of Joe Morley, he's at the Joe Morley. Make sure you guys check it out on Instagram and TikTok. It is the funniest stuff. He's drinking the Kool-Aid. It's the funniest stuff you'll see out there. He goes at Cowboys fans, at Chiefs fans, at 49er fans, even at Charger fans. So it's fun stuff. Follow him. He's the best.
Shout out.
Thank you guys so much. Don't forget to. Oh, somebody said that they're available too.
Oh my God! Get the cheese-eating bastard out of here!
Don't forget, guys. You guys are the best. We will see you guys next week. Have a great rest of your week. Have an even better weekend. Joe, you are the best. Dan, you are the GOAT.
Are you going to hit us with the Raider chant?
See you guys. Oh yeah, Joe. Why don't you throw one out?
Raiders!
Dan, do you have a rebuttal for that?
Yeah, I do. Like, comment, subscribe, be a compa, tell a compa, and don't forget, we'll never find out why John Cena became the